Election is over, but politicking and lobbying for political reasons may be far from over. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has stated that despite tribal and religious differences, there is a deeper unity that Nigerians share. Obi, who met with the Muslim community in Onitsha, Anambra State, for Eid-el-Fitr break, regretted that politics is the only thing dividing the people. What is Obi preaching, sir?
Politics is not the only thing.
It's not the only thing.
Religion, ethnicity, they are dividing us. They are dividing us.
And politicians deployed it abundantly for this
all of them.
last election.
A man who can describe an election as a religious war, is he not divisive? You know, some of these things, I just shake my head when a man who will go to campaign in the north and be visiting only the Christian areas. What can we say about such behavior? I mean, let's face it.
A man who came to the West and visiting only where his own people are.
Yes, you can't go to Kano, you know, and choose that, okay, Sabongeri is no now. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Can't come to
If you can't go to Maiduguri and say, okay, it's Chibok that you are going to. Abba. That's the Abba now. Some of these things that we are talking about. Obi is a politician. He's talking about what he and his colleagues are doing. This is the truth. He's talking about what he and his people are doing. How many such trips did he make to Muslim communities and people before the election?
I think he's just learning to play the politics now. Because
no, maybe it's just dawning on him that look, you cannot win.
It's not possible.
You can't win an election
using
targeting only one religion.
One faith.
Because you know when I talk about this audio, what he said about the audio clip, because Lai Mohammed threw a challenge that Obi has refused to respond to.
Till now.
Lai Mohammed said, okay, you said in one breath that the audio was fake, and then in saying that it was fake, you also said it was doctored. So tell us
which one?
Which portion was doctored? Was it where you said, thank you, Daddy, or where you said that it was a religious war? Because I also felt that, look, this man has gogged himself somehow, because you can't say in one breath that it is fake. If it is fake, everything about it is fake. That means it does not exist.
It was concocted.
That means it does not exist. But if you are saying it was doctored, that means it exists,
it existed,
but that they manipulated it.
Cut and join editing.
That they manipulated it. So he then asked a question. He said, are you saying, because the Lai Mohammed is an old fox, he then said, are you saying that conversation did not happen? He has not responded since then. It's going to maybe 3 weeks now.
Peter Obi has not been categorical.
No, it's a straight, the conversation take place or not. He has not answered Lai Mohammed since that day. And he knows what he's doing. Because he suspects that
that's a big poser.
He suspects that if he said it did not take place, they may provide greater evidence. Because you are dealing with people who are good at it. And then all he said was, oh, they have been monitoring my calls for so long. When people talk like that, after a smoking gun, then they are telling you that indeed that thing happened. Look at Baba Oyedepo's remarks. He never said he did not make that conversation. He only said, everybody comes to me to solicit, which is like saying, oh, Obi came to me to solicit. There's no big deal. It doesn't mean that I support him. Others too solicit for support. So the long and short of what I'm saying, and I'm happy because I'm not a politician and I will never be one. The long and short of what I'm saying is that when Obi points in the direction of GKB, or you, the rest of the fingers are pointing at him. He was also divisive in the course of the election. Let his people abuse me as much as they like. That is the truth.
Are they still on that?
Let them say what they like. Because I'm also permitted to say what I like. I no longer even read those comments again. In the past, I could read and even explain something.
Or send them to the popular industry.
No more. I don't even care again. I don't care again. Because we are dealing with people who always think that they are the only ones who are right. So if you have that mindset, you are the only one who is right, okay, good luck to you. He is as guilty as others.
It's normal.
We know the places that he visited before the election. I guess some people told him that he could win with the Christian vote.
Alone.
Yes.
I think Yakub is calling us from Lagos. Abiwale.
Hello.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Ayo, and then Mr. Rajide. Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
good evening to my brother, the other one. Babajide, you have said it all. You have said it all. You see, to me, what I realize here is this. The presidential candidate of Labour Party just realized that the way he played the politics in the last conclusion election, he got it totally wrong. Let me say this. I know that you remember that even when he came to Lagos, he purposely go to Anambra International and trade fair. Here he noticed that the tribe popularly demonstrating there. He personally go there in order. What is he telling us now? Nigeria, see, they have told people the last election since 1999 has been participated since his party. This is the clean election that we ever have. So, whether we like it or not, Nigeria are now white. If you play the joker of religion, you are not going to get it. If you play the joker of ethnicity, you are not going to get it. So we know what we want.
Thank you, Yakub. Thank you for your contribution. GKB, you see, the person that emerged eventually as the president, as in the president-elect now, you could see the way he has been cutting, the Northerners. Yeah. You could see the way even his own people, at the point in time, disowned him, abused him, that at the detriment of the interest of Yoruba race, that he's always going there. Anytime anything happened, anytime disaster, do you understand? But you could now see the dividend of what he has done, that you need that handshake across that strategic bloc.
Yeah, you must remember that even in the US, most of the time you must win California, Florida, New York,
Ohio.
So you have some states like that. They are what they call the legacy states. Same thing happens in Nigeria. There are some states in the north that even if I go to lose with small margin, so that you can really
get
compete.
Good votes,
basically.
Second best. The way
and that's the reality of the Nigerian situation. Anybody can sit down and use the 2011 templates, which Jonathan used successfully, because there was a block vote in the south, apart from Osun.
Yes.
And then block votes in the North Central. He thought he was going to use the same template. But it's not the same, because the man you are competing against all the biggest bloc in that southern coalition. So you cannot, people just take a book and read and assume can be applied. The first error is using religion. It may work in some parts of the south, it does not work here. You and I know that.
No.
Two, you cannot use ethnicity, because ethnicity, the danger is that you push the other side back home. And whether you like it or not, they are more than you. They have more votes. They have more children turning 18. They have larger part of the pie when it comes to election than you. You cannot demonize them and then think they will come for you. Then you cannot now pretend that you have all the answers, because it's not possible. What the winner did was very clear. Let me cut the services of these people, get my own people on board, see what I can get others. I said it on this program. And some people are going to abuse me, I don't care. If the Northwest and the western part of North Central and Southwest got their act together, it will be difficult for anybody not coming from that axis to win an election. So you must do double. Whatever double you do, you are not coming from that axis.
You are right, because the Southwest has never fully voted
Anybody?
to its full potential.
Yeah.
Lagos has more registered voters than Kano.
Lagos is just
Lagos has more registered
sleeping
voters
giants.
than Kano, but they never vote like Kano. So the day they vote based, the way they fulfill their potential in terms of voting,
The calculation will change.
and they get the Northwest and those 4 states
In the middle.
in the middle belt, in the North Central. What helped Jonathan at that time was that he cornered
The entire
the entire South, apart from
Osun.
Osun that you mentioned. Then, even in the Northeast, he got Adamawa, he got Taraba. If you have that, you got, from the Northeast, you got 2 states. From the South, you won all the states. That's 8 states already.
Yeah.
So, you know, the
That's
kind of
7 states. 8 states already. And then you went to the Southeast.
Took
You
everything.
also got 5 from there. What is left? By the time you get to the Northwest and you pack
okay, you
like
might
4
play
or
your
5 of those
politics,
states,
Jide.
it's gone.
You might play your politics by this arrangement, but the kernel of this story is that we should not always bring in religion.
That's the point we are making.
No, that we should not divide
As a
ourselves
strategy.
in politics. But we should not. It was not talking about religion here. It was just saying that politics has been used to divide the people. And I asked the question: this kind of trip that he made,
How many did
how many such trips
before the election?
did he make before the election? There was a time when when the Kantinkori in Kano was burnt. Was it not a place where you could use the opportunity to visit them? You went to Benue when they had the flooding.
Yes.
Because
And told politicians to stop their campaign.
because at that time he was thinking, with Pastor Enenche, with the governor saying they should vote for me, Benue was in the
They didn't
bag.
win Benue.
Benue was in the bag. But in the end, Pastor
Enenche could not save them.
Hyacinth Alia
Yes,
is a movement.
Yes.
And Hyacinth Alia thoroughly dominated the election in that state.
Spanked
Yes,
everybody.
they won the presidential election with narrow margin because Benue has a tremendous Christian population, no doubt about it. But Hyacinth Alia kept reminding them that if they are saying you should vote along religions, like, how about me? I am a priest. In Christendom, I am a priest. So the people gave them that victory narrowly. But in the National Assembly election, in the House of Assembly, it was thorough domination for the APC.
Annihilation.
So there are examples that I could have made. I don't even want to go beyond this point to expose what seems to me like barefaced hypocrisy. There were occasions when you could have made this kind of trip before the election. You didn't.
Maybe
You
in the
lost
next
an
4 years.
opportunity there. Well, he still has a chance. He's still young. He's in his 60s, but deemed young. So he can still contest. So in future, when he contests, let his campaign strategy,
The national.
let it change. You must not be seen to be moving from church to church. No. That will
Jonathan
portray
did
you.
it. He failed.
That will
in
portray you. Yes. Jonathan didn't do it in 2011 and he won. In 2015,
He did it.
he tried to make
He's not a
himself look
campaign
like the candidate of the Christians. And it didn't work because you will now galvanize the opposition against yourself. I don't know why people won't learn from history. By the time all those priests are swearing at other people, or swearing at other parties, you can imagine Pastor Enenche calling a party a useless party. You are a man of God. Even within your party, that party
within
that you
your
are
church.
Within your
calling
church.
useless
You have
party, there are
members,
people
your
who
members,
belong to it.
they are APC members.
You can't be talking you allow your emotion to take the better part of you. I mean, that's not what a good number of our priests, our pastors, learned exemplary lessons from this election.
Yes.
They may not say it openly, but we
No,
know
they
that
were
they've
humbled.
learned.
They were
They
humbled.
have learned their lessons. You can't call anybody, any party,
No
a
man should
useless
play
party.
God.
You can't do that. What do you mean by useless party? Then what makes the other party useful? How are they different? And Nigerian party is different from one
Describing somebody
another.
as a monster, describing another person as a jacker, they were all humbled and humiliated thoroughly.
Because when that way you are daring God. And the way people speak from the pulpit like God spoke to them, you wake up, you had a normal dream, and you now attribute what you are saying to God.
A nightmare.
Or your own.
God never
aspiration.
fails. God never fails.
Yes,
God
sir.
never fails.
That's so.
If God spoke to you,
Yes.
It will come
nobody
to pass.
can rig the election.
It will come to pass.
If God spoke to you, nobody can rig the election. If indeed He spoke to you, and because people, some pastors will say, and I asked again, and God said, my son, this is my
Candidate.
no, if God said so, no one born of a
Can
woman will
stand
be able to rig an election. He would die trying to rig that election. He would
Not-
die
he will not
trying
be
to
able
rig
to
that
do it,
election.
yeah.
Call him omnipotent God.
Yes, this God we are talking about, not human beings.
Not human being. That means all the what
You are overwhelmed by, you are
Lamba.
overtaken by anger.
Yes.
Overtaken by anger. You are saying all
And
sorts of
coming
things.
to give us lamba.
Now we are learning.
Lamba from the pulpit.
We are learning lessons after the election.
Thank you,
Now,
GKB. Thank you.
Always a pleasure to be here.
And the maestro himself, Babajide Kolade Toju.
thank you, Jerry.
Good to be back.
Welcome.